This weekend, we headed to Blackpool to celebrate our friend Gal's birthday. Beachside trips have kind of become our tradition now. Last year it was Brighton, before it was Caithness, and this time it's Blackpool. The drive was about 2 hours, but honestly, it didn't feel that long. The motorway views are very beautiful, endless stretches of lush green forest on both sides, fresh and full of life. When we finally arrived, we checked in our accommodation right next to the North Pier. Perfect location, sea breeze, and that classic seaside vibe. The weekend was already off to a great start. This is North Pier. North Pier is like a kind of a family place, more restaurant and bar drinking place. So, how Blackpool? Back in the Middle Ages, a small stream called Spendike drained peat-rich water from the nearby marshlands into the sea. Because peat stained water a dark brown or almost color, a black color, the pool of water where the stream by the Irish Sea looked unusually dark, essentially a black pool. Over time, people began referring to the area by the distinctive feature and the name stuck. Black means from the dark clear water, and the pool, the stream's outflow or pooled water at the shoreline. By the 16th century, variations of the name were already in use, eventually settling on Blackpool. So it's not anything mysterious, just straightforward geographical name based on the appearance of the water at the time. Blackpool is all about that classic seaside energy, and this trip had everything. We kicked things off by hopping on a tram and getting down at South Pier. From there, we decided to explore the coastline the best way possible on foot. Right near South Pier, you can feel the buzz from the Blackpool pleasure beach, roller coasters, music, and that nostalgic theme park vibe. It instantly set the tone for our whole experience. As we walked along the promenade, the iconic Blackpool Tower stood tall in the distance, guiding our route like a landmark you just can't miss. We passed by the Central Pier, which was full of life, lights, rides, and crowds enjoying the evening. Then came the arcades, the classic seaside fun. From flashing machines trying your luck and mostly losing, it added so much fun to the walk. Along the way, we were countless bars and spots to stop, grab a drink, and just soak in the lively atmosphere. We finally made our way up to the North Pier, wrapping up the walk with beautiful sea views and that contrast to the busier part of the street. From the south to north, every step had something going on: rides, music, lights, and pure seaside nostalgia. Definitely one of those walks you don't forget. This is South Pier. It was perfect place to begin. South Pier has such a fun, energetic vibe. It's a bit more lively and thrill-filled compared to others, with rides, games, and that classic seaside excitement and everything you look. You can hear the screams from the rides and the music playing and people just enjoying the moment. What makes even it better is how close it to Blackpool Pleasure Beach. So the whole area feels like one big amusement zone. It's colorful, busy, and full of life. We spent some time walking along the pier, taking in the sea views and just enjoying the fresh coastal breeze. It's one of those places where you can slow down for a second, look out over the water, and still feel surrounded by energy. Standing on this pier, it's actually crazy to think about how it was built right out into the sea. These piers were not just placed there, they were carefully constructed using iron and steel foundations driven deep into the seabed. Imagine building something like this with waves constantly crashing around, tides changing every few hours, and strong coastal winds. Back in the day, engineers had to work with the rhythm of the sea, planning construction around how tides and using sturdy materials that could survive saltwater, storms, and time. The structure is designed to be flexible enough to handle the movement of the water, yet strong enough to stay standing for decades. Walking along the pier now, it feels effortless and fun, but underneath, your feet is a piece of engineering that has stood against the sea for generations. It really makes you appreciate it differently, not just as a place for rides and views, but as something built to conquer the ocean. One of the things that really stood out around South Pier was the strong seawall running along the promenade. The seawall feels like a solid barrier between the town and the powerful Irish Sea, built to protect the coastline from waves, tides, and storms. Standing next to it, it can actually hear the waves crashing against it. Not now, but especially when the tide is high. It's a reminder of how strong the sea can be. And then there are the steps leading down into the sea. At low tide, those steps take you closer to the shoreline, where you can walk along the wet sand and really feel connected to the ocean. But when the tide comes in, the same steps slowly disappear under the rising water. Such a cool and slightly dramatic transformation. It's one of those simple things that makes Blackpool special. The mix of man made structures like the seawall working together with the natural rhythm of the sea. Watching the tide move in and out, step by step, was oddly calming and perfect little moment during your walk. No trip Blackpool is complete without stepping into the arcades. As we walked along the South Pier towards North Pier, the arcades were everywhere. Bright lights, buzzing sounds, and unmistakable nostalgic energy. Inside, it's a whole different world. Flashing machines, coin pushers, racing games, claw machines. It's impossible not to get pulled in. We tried our luck a few times. Sometimes winning a handful of tickets, most of the time just laughing it off. There is something really timeless about these places. It doesn't matter how old you are, you end up feeling like a kid again, completely lost in the fun. The mix of sounds, colors, and people enjoying themselves creates such a lively atmosphere. And honestly, it's not even about winning anything, it's about the experience, the laughs, and those little moments in between exploring the seaside. Walking along Central Pier and the other piers in Blackpool, what really stands out is not just the views, it's how perfectly everything is planned and placed. The layout feels almost like a small floating town over the sea. Restaurants, cafes, bars, shops, arcades, and even toilets are thoughtfully positioned so everything is easy to find while you're walking along. You can grab food, sit for a drink, play in the arcades, or just stop for a break, all without even leaving the pier. It's impressive how smoothly it flows. Nothing feels random or cramped. Instead, it's designed to keep you moving while still giving you plenty of places to pause and enjoy the atmosphere. And then That's the structure itself. That's what really makes you stop and think. Standing on the pier, looking down at the waves crashing underneath, it's honestly unbelievable. That's something this large is built straight out into the sea. The strength of it is incredible. It holds restaurants, crowds, rides, and constant movement, all while facing wind, salt, and waves every single day. You can feel the engineering behind it when you walk. It doesn't shake or feel unsafe. It just stands there solid and confident like it belongs to the sea. It's one of those things you don't fully appreciate until you are actually there. A perfect mix of design, planning, and pure structural strength. One of the most iconic sights during our walk through Blackpool is without a doubt the Blackpool Tower. It rises above everything else along the promenade. Impossible to miss. Inspired by the Eiffel Tower, it's a true symbol of Blackpool's history and charm. As you walk closer, you start noticing the details, the structure, and how it anchors the whole seafront atmosphere, whether it's glowing at night or standing tall in the daylight. It gives the town its unmistakable identity. Further along the coast, we reach at North Pier, compared to the livelier southern end. North Pier feels more relaxed and classic. It has a slightly quieter charm, more about slow walks, sea views, and enjoying the breeze. The wooden boards, gentle sounds of the waves underneath, and open views make it feel almost timeless. Together, the tower and North Pier feels like two different moves Blackpool. One bold and iconic, the other calm and traditional. And both are what make the coastline so special. Landmarks like the Blackpool Tower reminds us of town history and identity, standing tall over everything, while places like Blackpool, Pressure Beach added that thrill and energy that Blackpool is famous for. What makes it all special is not just one thing, it's a combination. The engineering of the piers, the constant movement of the sea, the entertainment everywhere, and the simple joy of walking, talking, and exploring together. By the end of the day, we didn't just see Blackpool, we experienced it fully. Lights, waves, laughter, and memories, long coastal walk. A perfect weekend, a perfect tradition, and definitely one to remember.